So back to work. Seminole goes. 2 minutes remaining. Edgewater picks off the pass and an opportunity to build on that three-point play.
Foul called against number 23, Josiah Shackelford. That's his first personal foul, the team's seventh. At the line shooting will be Jalen Smith. And welcome to those of you on our YouTube feed. I apologize for that. Little technology glitch there. We were live on Varsity Sports Network, but not on YouTube. We have remedied that now. And we will still have the full game on Varsity Sports Network available for replay. So the footage was not lost, fear not. But thanks for your patience waiting for us. And our apologies for this late start on the live stream.
Yeah, the story is a 19-4 run over the last 4 minutes of the first quarter by Seminole. They now enjoy a 33-20 lead, a minute and a half remaining before halftime. And a stoppage on the turnover. Seminole with an opportunity to further increase that lead. As the clock ticks down to 1:15, Neil Fisher along with Mark Barchi. Thank you for joining us, as Mark said. And if you've joined us throughout the day, we appreciate that as well.
5 seconds under guard, Eagles ball.
So Edgewater down by 13, and they have gotten a couple of turnovers in the last 3 possessions. So we've seen a lot of games like this in terms of big runs by both teams going back and forth. Out to the wing, up to the top of the key, the drive. Back into the corner, and open Eric Taylor, who drains the rain.
Eric Taylor for 3 from Jalen Smith.
So now Edgewater putting together a run themselves. 6 points out of the last 8. And that has cut the lead back down to 10.
Foul called against Eagles number 10, Tanaris Jefferson. That's his 4th personal foul, the team's 8th, and that will send Seminole to the line. Gabriel Sellers shooting 1-1.
So Sellers at the line, the 5'7" junior guard. Converts that first. Those are important points because, as we mentioned, Edgewater is starting to build some momentum as well as a run. They cut the lead all the way down to 10. Seminole breaking that streak with a pair of 3 throws from Sellers. And 33 seconds remaining. A press now by Seminole. We have not seen this yet today. Edgewater so far, good job getting it out. The long pass, and way too long. So the first couple of passes, Edgewater was able to work around, but in the end, Seminoles press does its job, turning the ball over. They'll set up for the last shot, or at least they have the opportunity to take the last shot. The baseline, they're not going to take the last shot, but certainly they have that opportunity to add to their score. Now the other way, Edgewater trailing by 12 will probably take it. Yes, they will. Force out high. The drive from Washington, too high, no dice. And so we will go into halftime 35-23, 19-4 run at the second half of the first quarter by Seminole. The story and why they are now ahead by 12.
That takes us to halftime, and it is a 12-point advantage for the Seminoles going into the locker room. Elevate Orlando as a civic nonprofit focused on helping students grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills. Elevate's essential character traits and life skills are taught in the classroom, modeled through mentoring, and incorporated into all we do so students can apply those skills to their lives. Through a partnership with OCPS, Elevate's curriculum is offered as an accredited elective course, and as private employees of Elevate Orlando, the teacher mentors can spend more than 50% of their time outside the school mentoring students. Excel Speed provides training for all sports, high school, Pop Warner, youth sports, football, baseball, track, and more for both boys and girls. Some of the benefits of Excel Speed fitness and training include NFL and All-American college trainers. program is fully customizable and mobile. They can even come to you. President Lowood brings his experience as a former high school and college athlete to develop young players into successful athletes and scholars. Florida Hoops is the most respected name in boys high school basketball recruiting in the Sunshine State. Their staff of writers and contributors provides coverage ranging from college commitments to player and team rankings to stories on prospects and programs from all around the state. Once again, thanks for joining us here at Game 8 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge in memory of Earl Graham and presented by Hoop Culture. You're watching on YouTube and Varsity Sports Network. We'll be back in about 8.5 minutes to wrap up day one here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium. I guess not.
And welcome back to Joe R. Sterling Gymnasium, home of the Apopka Blue Darters, but for the next 4 days, it'll be home of the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and Edgewater makes a statement in the white jerseys right from the beginning, the withdrawal +1. And that was Taylor slashing and dashing, drawing the foul. That cuts the lead to 35-25. The Seminoles are in the black jerseys representing the Florida contingency. Edgewater, located just down the road, about 15 minutes from Apopka, representing the Metro Conference. So the score remains 35-25, but another opportunity for Taylor, and this time he does not let it go by the wayside. 9-point lead. The story of the first quarter was a 10-6 lead taken by Edgewater midway through the first quarter, and then a complete assault, an attack by the Seminoles on plays like this. Although this one does not go in, it rolls around. Nicholas picks it up, trying to get that behind the backboard angle. Down the other way we go. The bounce pass out to the top of the key where they'll reset. Quick passing around that perimeter. The drive into the middle, the stop and go, in the withdrawal for Smith. So Edgewater was up 10-6, a 19-4 run, starting with 8 consecutive by Seminole, the high arcing reverse and no dice. And when we came to the halftime, Seminole had outscored Edgewater as Edgewater gets a deuce.
Darius Washington coast to coast for 2.
It was a 27-13 outscoring by Seminole.
Tyreek Lewis answers for the Seminoles.
From the middle of the first quarter. So now the score is 37-30. Last game of day 1 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. The slide through the lane and the withdrawal.
Jalen Smith on the layup for the Eagles.
So Edgewater coming out in the second half the same way they came out in the first, getting some points right in their first possessions, cutting the lead down to 5. Left corner, that is Sellers, clanks off the right side, skying is Anderson, hands it off underneath. The great interior pass.
Anderson to McLean for the Seminole basket.
McLean ups that lead again to 39-32. And now Nicholas doing some defensive work. And unfortunately, he'll go for naught. Some great one-on-one coverage by Edgewater along that right sideline, and it forces Jefferson out of bounds. So a quick look at the stats. Really the difference, if you want to point out any stat, that would be the rebounding, a 25-13 advantage for Seminole over Edgewater, and in particular on the offensive boards, 10-3, and that 7-point differential has given them 5 more shots. Neither team shooting the ball particularly well, as the bank,
Darius Washington adds 2 for the Eagles.
Cuts the lead to 39-34. 42% for Seminole, a little below average, but certainly that is a much better percentage and really explains the lead than the 35% that Edgewater is shooting.
Hold called against Seminoles. Number 14, Tyreek Lewis, his 3rd personal foul, the team's 3rd. Checking into the game for him is number 23, Josh Shackelford.
And then the other stat that sticks out, which is not really an official stat, you don't put it in any category, it's a group, and that is 7 players have scored for Seminole. The leading scorer, number 30, Nicholas, he has, along with 5 rebounds, 9 points, and then 8 rebounds for number 20, Rump, but 8 players have a rebound as well. So Seminole, no one sticking out. Definitely the sum of the parts greater than any individual as we approach 4.5 in the third quarter. Seminole continues to lead 39-34. Long-range Trey does not find the mark. Battle on the left side, and that results in a foul after Sellers grabs the rebound.
Foul called against number 22. Gabriel Sellers on the push is first, the team's 4th.
So a 12-point lead has been cut all the way down to 5 by Edgewater. And they got a chance to get that lead down even a little bit more on this possession. The long-range tray, drain the rain from Smith.
Jalen Smith for 3.
And now the lead down to 2, a 10-point turnaround in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Oh, the beautiful bounce pass. And the only option that Smith had was to foul.
Shackelford fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul's called against Edgewater's number 4, Jalen Smith. His second, the team's first of this half.
So 4:14 remaining. Seminole watching a 12-point lead shrink to 2. And they had an opportunity to reestablish some fluidity and some form and get that lead back up to 2 possessions.
For 2 at the line.
So the lead remains 2. And now they'll catch a break. Edgewater with the errant pass.
Hunt throws the ball out of bounds.
So this is the Metro versus Florida Challenge. And this pits, of course, like the name says, the Metro Conference. As the high shot draws the foul. Nicholas drawing the foul.
Uchenna Kalman-Nichols is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 1, Darius Washington, his first, team second.
Every public high school in Orange County, which is in Central Florida, that is Orlando, the city of Orlando, belongs to the Metro Conference. If your school comes into existence and it's Orange County, you become a member of the Metro Conference.
Which actually is worth mentioning that we're now up to 22 as of this year. We had 2 new schools open, so that means we will have 2 schools participating in the Metro versus Florida Challenge for the very first time. And let's see, that is
Sellers.
Anderson to Sellers for the stolen Seminole basket.
But the reason that Coach Williams, the director of this and the Popka High School head coach, who was at Wekiva at the time, wanted to put on this event, which is now in its 11th edition, is he just wanted to be able to showcase the talent of level as far as the quality of play, that there was a lot of high-level quality of play in this area.
Foul called against number 23, Josiah Shackelford of the Seminoles. That's his first personal foul, the team's 5th, and it will send Washington to the line to shoot 2.
And so if you're wondering, looking at the state championships on that note, this is a very talented field. Of course, the most state championships is Orlando Christian Prep. They now have 9. They have 9. Your other schools in this field have won championships, state championships, as the rebound skied. And we'll go back to work. That's Edgewater along the baseline. And they foul.
Hunt is fouled on the floor. Foul called against number 20, Quindarius Rumpf. That's his first personal foul, and the team's 6th. So the Seminoles racking up fouls like they're going out of style, but no individual person getting too far out of line.
So after Orlando Christian Prep, as far as the state championships.
Foul called against number 5, Octavius Hunt. That's his second, the team's 3rd.
Bartow with 5, Mainland, who won earlier today, with 4, Leesburg with 3, Winter Park with 3 as well, Auburndale with 2, Boone with 2, who won as well, Edgewater with 2, Lake Highland Prep, who played a phenomenal game. Go back and watch that replay as
Rumpf on the pass from Anderson.
At Lake Highland Prep winning against Dr. Phillips in the game before this as Seminole goes full court. And then Lake Wales with a couple as well. Evans with 1, Haggerty 1, Jones 1, and Oak Ridge 1. Drain the rain!
Taylor on the pass from Hunt for 3. And we'll pause for a timeout. Full timeout requested by the Eagles. Baptiste Orthodontics and Dentistry for Kids is a proud sponsor of the 11th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. With 3 convenient offices in Apopka, Orlando, and Windermere, it's never been easier to have a healthy new smile. Braces and aligners for all ages, plus dentistry for kids, exclusively in Apopka. Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker is proud to support the 11th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. And he sends his best wishes to all the participating teams. If you have a goal to buy or sell your home, put Latrice Singleton Violo's passion to work for you with Keller Williams Realty. Stop by the raffle table outside the arena to meet Latrice and enter for your chance to win gift cards from our money tree just in time for the holidays. Latrice Singleton Violo, your praying agent.
So inbound, 45-41, Seminole with the lead. They went on an 8-0 run beginning midway through the first quarter to take the lead, and they have led since then, but a 12-point lead has been sliced down to 4 by Edgewater, and an opportunity to do some more as the Windex pulled out by Washington 2 minutes in the third quarter. The Metro team's trailing 5-2 in the 2021 Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge. The drive, the slash, can't get the roll, couldn't get it to roll over that rim, and Seminole comes back the other way, some loose ball handling, but Seminole now gets the break. A foul committed, Nicholas.
Foul called against number 20, Justin Smith. His second personal foul, and the team's 4th.
Nicholas drawing the foul. Seminole back to work. This is Rump. The big man spin. No dice. Rolls off. And the Windex work done by Smith. At only 5'11". He stopped, pops, no drops. Ball comes loose on that baseline. And we come up the right sideline. The long pass to Rump, who leaves no doubt with the slam. But he is also hurt. And to be honest, he was down there for a good 30 seconds before he moved his hand. We're going to have a stoppage here, 47-41. A Seminole in the lead. But the bigger concern is Rumpf, who slammed the ball through but landed on his head, lost his balance coming down, and smacked the back of his head. And so now I can see over there the Apopka trainer, Jerome Mogel, asking Rumpf if he can move his fingers, and he does respond. So again, I'm not saying anything new, but in this new era, head concern, head injuries have taken priority. It's no longer the days of rub some dirt on it and you'll be okay. You certainly want to take every precaution. You want to take your time.
Yeah, he's sitting up on his own, which is always encouraging. Of course, the athletic trainers are going to use caution. We always assume the worst and hope for the best, and it seems like again, it's encouraging that he is sitting up on his own, but we are going to give him a moment to recover there. Obviously, we'll need a sub for him. We'll also need a towel to wipe up the sweat off the floor. Neil, it's been quite a day here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium. I don't know if we're ever going to beat the action that we saw in the last game with that DP LHP game, which delivered as promised. And here, Quindarius Rumpf is shaken up on the play, but makes his way off with the assistance of our athletic training team.
And everybody in attendance with the hand for the big man. And as you said, Mark, we are now wiping off the sweat. A referee taking care of that. 1:24 remaining in the third quarter. Seminole holding a 47-41 lead over Edgewater in the 2021 Metro versus Florida Challenge. And the action coming live from Joe R. Sterling Gymnasium on the campus of Apopka High School. Of course, Coach Scott Williams, the head coach here at Apopka, this is his brainchild. When he was the coach at Wekiva, started the event and took it with him when he moved up to Apopka. And by the way, talked about this throughout the day. A number of state championship coaches in this field. Scott is the one of them. Actually, he has the oldest championship, 1997 Class 4A with Mount Dora. He's also coached at Lake Region. And we come back the other way. Metro with a 5-2 lead. This is the 8th and final game of day one, 24 in total, the largest amount ever, as the tray falls short from Washington, but Edgewater continues to get those rebounds. A much different looking team here in the second half by Edgewater. The hop, skip, the pass, and the withdrawal from Hunt.
Hunt on the pass from Smith.
So that lead gets cut in two once again, down to 4 points, 2 possessions.
Yeah, this is a game that, mid-second quarter looked like, well, this might end up being a runaway, but not so.
As Washington
Darius Washington steals a layup for the Eagles.
And now a 2-point lead again. The third time Edgewater's gotten it down to 2 points. Seminole comes back the other way, and a little too much movement, the travel. And Edgewater with an opportunity to tie or even take the lead.
Offensive charge is called against Gabriel Sellers. Charge taken by Jalen Smith. It's Sellers' second personal foul, the team's 7th. No bonus shots for offensive fouls, and it turns the ball over to the Eagles.
An 8-0 run beginning 4 minutes into the first quarter puts Seminoles ahead. It erased a 10-6 lead by Edgewater. And they have led since then, but now Edgewater, once again, they've come out looking like a much different team, passing the ball much more crispy, much more direct. And you can say the same for the ball movement and their footwork as we approach the end of the third quarter, 15 seconds remaining. Edgewater trailing 47-45. Smith over to Taylor, back to Smith. Stop, pop, and drop from 6 feet, and we're tied at 47 all. Quick
Jalen
inbound.
Smith ties the game at the buzzer. And that's going to take us to a 47-47 tie, and it's a new ball game going into the final 8 minutes of day one here at the 11th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge, presented by Hoop Culture on Varsity Sports Network.
Yes, and real quick before our sponsors, Edgewater outscored Seminole 24-12 in that quarter. They began with an 8-0 run.
The 11th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge is proudly supported by Williams Construction and Development, dedicated professionals, superior craftsmanship, and better building materials. And the 11th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge is presented in partnership with Varsity Sports Network. All your favorite sports all year long, all in one place. Visit varsitysportsnetwork.org for live 24/7 coverage of high school sports around the state.
Fourth quarter about to begin. 47-47, Seminole with possession, representing the Florida contingency, wearing their traditional road black. Edgewater in the white jerseys, wearing their traditional home. The 8th and final game of day one of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. The looping floater, no dice for Peters. And Edgewater, which trailed by as many as 12 points, that was at halftime, have come all the way back. A 24-12 outscoring of Seminole in that third quarter. And we are now in the bonus. Edgewater is in the bonus. And we're only 20 seconds into this fourth quarter.
Tyreek Lewis is called with his 4th personal foul. It's the team's 8th. And it puts the Eagles into bonus at the line shooting 1-1, Justin Smith.
Smith with an opportunity to put Edgewater back in the lead. And the smooth, silky stroke does just that. So this is the first lead that Edgewater has had since about 4 minutes into this ball game. And the second, just as smooth and just as silky. A 49-47 lead for Edgewater. And the battle continues on as we move into the fourth quarter. The quick drive, the dribble, no dice. The rebound by Smith, the long outlet. And blocked, but not before a foul. That was Smith drawing the foul, the Justin Smith.
Justin Smith fouled on the attempt to go to the line and shoot two. The foul called against number 11. Jacaro Peters, that's his fourth personal foul. The team's ninth.
Smith isn't up there. So Smith with an opportunity to take the lead for Edgewater, and he delivered. Now he has an opportunity to further increase the lead. Unable to deliver on the first of two shots. Keeps the lead at 2. And unable to get the second. So gets 2 to take the lead, but can't get 2 to get that lead up to 2 possessions. And now the up and down, the body movement. No dice. Scramble to the left. And Edgewater will take possession with a second opportunity to get that lead up to 2 possessions.
Checking into the game for Edgewater, Octavius Hunt.
Seven minutes remaining. Edgewater with possession of the ball in a 49-47 lead. Talked about this throughout this second half. A much different looking Edgewater team than we saw in the first half. Just much more energetic, much more active, leading to much more precise passing and better footwork, more
What was
fluidity.
that about precise passing, Neil?
Well, wouldn't you know it, as soon as I compliment them, they go back to their first half form. Still, they have the 49-47 lead as we drop under 7 minutes. Quick passing from Seminole, seen that all game, but air ball, the spin by Hunt, getting out of the double trouble.
That was one of those bad shots that almost looked like a bad pass. Either way.
And Hunt with the finger roll deuce.
Octavius Hunt picks up a layup for the Eagles. So now they do finally get that 4-point lead they've been craving for so long. Now they're going to get called for a block going the other way. This is before the shot, though, so no free throws. Block is called on the floor against number 5, Octavius Hunt, his third. And the team's fifth.
Yeah, so Edgewater finally takes that 2-possession lead, 3 opportunities. And just as quickly, it's back to 1.
For 3.
Drain the rain, and it's just as quickly back to 1. And now Edgewater makes a statement. The answer, the finger roll, Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson answers for the Eagles.
And Edgewater back up to its old tracks. A steal, quick shot, no dice this time. Contact underneath. That was McLean grabbing the rebound. And unfortunately, Jefferson in the wrong place at the wrong time, just couldn't untangle himself.
Tanaris Jefferson is called with his 4th personal foul. It's the team's 6th.
And as Mark just pointed out, as the 4th foul on Jefferson.
And it also puts Seminole into bonus, so now we'll be shooting on every defensive foul for the rest of the game as Greg McLean goes up the paint for 2.
Under 6 minutes. Edgewater brings the ball up. Smith will set the play. Guarded by McLean. Back and forth they go. Passing to Smith, the other Smith, down in the right corner. Long pass, cross court, almost got away from Hunt. Controls it though. And the good news is that they allowed him to slash and dash the quick drive, and he draws the foul.
Foul is called against number 12, Gina Paul Anderson. 2nd personal foul, the team's 10th. At the line shooting, number 5, Octavius Hunt.
53-52 lead for Edgewater. First free throw on the way. And Hunt leaves that point on the table.
Eric Taylor is back in for Edgewater.
Hunt with the second attempt, bends at the knees. Can't get that one either. Roll was not kind. The long outlet all the way to Sellers, who finger rolls the deuce, +1.
Sellers and 1. Foul called against number 5, Octavius Hunt, his 4th personal foul. Sellers at the line shooting 1.
So Seminole back in the lead, 5:20 remaining.
And it's worth noting, Neil, that Edgewater has got 2 in the books with 4, and so does Seminole. Malachi Washington into the game.
And
Timeout, Eagles. Full timeout called by Edgewater. That leaves them with 1 timeout left, and the Seminoles retain all 5 of their timeouts.
And the timeout will take place with Seminole holding the 55-53 lead, 5:20 remaining.
Join us again on Friday and Saturday. We'll have 8 more games each of those 2 days. For your Thanksgiving enjoyment, we open up with Horizon versus Mount Dora Christian on Friday morning at 10 a.m. That'll be Horizon's first ever basketball game here at Apopka High School. We welcome them to the Orlando Metro Conference. And we now rejoin for live action, and Edgewater likes their throw-in opportunity better this time. Full court pressure coming on by the Seminoles. Tough pass, reeled in by Washington. Pace of the game getting a little more frenetic here. Spin move, and a little short on the jumper from Smith. Rebound is going to go to Kelman Nichols. Will go the other way, and straight through the paint. Greg McLean ties the game once again for Seminole. Or, excuse me, not ties, it actually retakes the lead, or extends the lead, I mean to say. Shackelford adds 2 more. Jalen Smith fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Eagles. Foul is called against number 30, Kelman Nichols. That's his first personal foul. One for 2 at the line goes Smith. Get some personnel changes in, and now the Seminoles go back to work. 5-point ball game, and while the energy level is maybe not quite as high as it was in Game 7, and some of the crowd has started to trickle out, this game may be the same photo finish that we saw in the earlier game between DP and Lake Highland Prep.
Go get the ball.
Steal by Taylor. Nothing there in transition. Going to the paint. It's an easy basket for Darius Washington, adding 2 for the Eagles. Back to a 1-possession ball game. Airing it out. There's Gabriel Sellers for 3. Seminoles foul was called against number 23, Josiah Shackelford, and that will send Darius Washington to the line. shooting 2 for Edgewater. Back in bounds. The successful free throws close it to 4. To the paint. Layup. It's there. Greg McLean down the lane for 2. That was a little too easy. Wild shot. Wild pass, rather. And all Jalen Smith could do was try to swat the ball into Kelman Nichols. He had no chance of actually bringing that possession in, but he does manage to keep control of the ball on Edgewater's side. Jumper there for Jalen Smith, picking up 2 for the Eagles. So that pulls us back to a one-possession game, but not for long. 3 for Josiah Shackelford. Traveling. Seminoles ball.
And just that quickly, the wheels have fallen off for Edgewater.
Yeah, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah, they trailed at 12 at halftime, then won the third quarter 24-12, and they led for about 4 minutes into this third quarter.
Darius Washington is called on the push. It's his second, the team's 8th. That will put the Seminoles into bonus. At the line, shooting 1-on-1, number 30, Uchenna Kelman Nichols.
And now a chance for Seminole to up that lead a little bit more, get it to 4 possessions. And no dice for Nicholas. And we'll come back the other way. Edgewater, time not on their side right now, but although it's not quite to the point of urgency. And Seminole does not think that was a foul.
It was a little bit of a late whistle, and it was coming from behind, but nevertheless.
They all count the same.
Fouls called against number 12, Gina Paul Anderson. That's his 3rd personal foul. At the line, shooting double bonus, number 2, Eric Taylor.
And certainly can say Coach Wynn vehemently disagrees with that foul, discussing the matter with the referee right in front of me here at the scorer's table. Of course, in the end, the opportunity to get 2 points at the free throw line goes by the wayside. Taylor unable to convert that first. Does get the second, so they cut into the lead by half of the amount possible. And we'll come up the other way. Seminole not trying to take time off the clock. They're looking to attack. And now they're going to set up their half-court offense. Sellers drains the rain.
Gabriel Sellers for 3.
70-61. The other way. Edgewater with the finger roll.
Octavius Hunt adds 2 for the Eagles.
So Edgewater answers, but they're still down by 1 more point. From the corner, short. Not enough heat on it. And doing the rebounding work is Washington. Battle at the middle of the court. And Seminole's going to win this. Sellers picking up the loose ball. Sellers picks up the loose ball and draws the foul.
Foul called against number 10, Tanaris Jefferson. That's his 5th personal foul. He retires from the game with 6 points and 4 rebounds.
So once again, both teams in double bonus. So we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way, 2 for each foul. And Sellers, he takes advantage of the opportunity, getting that lead back up to 8. Second one, this one, he gets the roll, soft touch. And now back to that full court trap. Saw this in the first half from Seminole. The slash and the slash and dash, but too much arc from Hunt on that shot. And 1:41 remaining, and Seminole now having a chance to really take a major step towards securing this victory. A 9-point lead, 100 seconds remaining. That's a $140. Edgewater full court man-to-man. And Seminole breaks it with pretty easily. So now they're going to have to start putting some defensive pressure, and that's certainly a great start, what they need. Justin Smith swiping the ball, gives it to Smith, the other Smith, up the court, back to Hunt, who makes the withdrawal.
Octavius Hunt from Jalen Smith for two.
And that cuts the lead to 72-65. Back on the other end, bounces off that rim, and doing the Windex work is Washington.
Keep in
1
mind
minute remaining.
that Edgewater only has one timeout, which is why you see them being judicious with it. And there's a block. It looks like a clean block by Kelman Nichols. Or no, never mind. No, we got a technical foul. Technical foul is called against Uchenna Kelman Nichols. That's his second personal foul.
So a break for Edgewater. And, I always say this, Mark, I don't think it's necessarily the actual free throws which hurt a team. What hurts them is the fact that the opponent then gets possession of the ball. So that puts all the options in the hands of the opponent. And one of two free throws that cuts the lead to 72-66. 57 seconds remaining. This is the last of 8 games, the Metro versus Florida Challenge for day one. Drop back from Smith. And another break for Edgewater. That'll send Smith to the line for 3. No, actually it was a foul on Edgewater.
Loose ball push is called against number 5, Octavius Hunt. That's his 5th personal foul, and he will retire from the game with 10 points and 3 rebounds.
So at the other end, Nicholas with an opportunity to increase that lead. The foul occurred before the three-point shot, so the three-point shot never actually counted. And 1 of 2 for Nicholas, and that re-ups the lead to 7. Of course, not as many points as Sanford could have gotten, but nonetheless, the all-important 1 point, which ups the lead to 3 possessions, 52 seconds remaining in Game 8 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge, Day 1.
We remind you, if you are not already doing so, make sure you are following us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're Metro versus Florida Challenge on all 3 of those services. You'll get live updates from our events. You'll get live videos whenever you're not here. And you can also watch us this year on Varsity Sports Network, varsitysportsnetwork.org.
Seminole with a 73-66 lead over Edgewater. This is the Metro versus Florida Challenge, the 2021 edition. Less than a minute. Edgewater with urgency. They need to get some points and stops. No dice, and that might just do it as Seminole brings the ball up. It won't do it, but still, Edgewater getting that steal. They still have more work to do, even if they score here. Hits off the ref. Unfortunate break for Edgewater, and that's going to be converted into
Nichols
a
to
draw.
McLean.
Well, that'll bring the lead to 9, and that should just about secure this victory for Seminole, the last game of the 2021 Metro versus Florida Challenge Day 1, although Edgewater still is not giving up hope, calling a timeout.
Justin Smith gets the basket. And Edgewater spends their final timeout, full timeout, called by the Eagles. Join us again tomorrow, or sorry, not tomorrow. Enjoy your time with your families tomorrow. On Friday, we are back with 8 more ball games. Horizon Mount Dora Christian starts us off at 10, then Cypress Creek Lake Mineola, then West Orange CFCA, then Apopka Lake Wales, then Ocoee Auburndale, then Lake Buena Vista Mount Dora, then Olympia Bartow, and finally Timber Creek Buchholz to wrap up Friday.
So 8 consecutive points with about 3 minutes remaining. That is the difference right now. It's a 7-point lead. Seminole putting together that run. Seminole representing the Florida contingency, Edgewater representing the Metro Conference. And Florida with a 5-2 lead now. So if you're Edgewater, you have to foul. And Seminole does a great job of inbounding that ball. They got about an extra 5 seconds off the clock with that angled pass, about 45-degree angle in comparison to Edgewater. 12 seconds remaining.
Hold is called against Eagles, Jalen Smith. His third. At the line, shooting 2, Jenna Kelman-Nichols.
So Nicholas at the line with 12 points. And even though he did not score, it might just still be academic, as there is only 12 seconds in a 3-possession lead for Seminole. Now the lead up to 8, so you got to get a couple trays as well. Under 10, launching from Washington, no dice, and snagging the ball one last time, pulling out the Windex, is Jaravian Peters. The clock sounds, and an 8-0 run with about 3 minutes left, produced by Seminole, is your difference, 76-68. And we finished the first day 6-2, the Florida contingency. Take us home, Mark.
That takes us to the end of the ball game and the end of day 1 here at the 11th annual Earl Graham Metro versus Florida Challenge presented by Hoop Culture. At the end of each game, we recognize our MVP for the game in memory of Coach Earl Graham, who dedicated nearly 50 years of his life to improving the lives of young men here in Central Florida as part of his coaching career. And in this game, it can be none other than the leading scorer for the Noles, and that is, with 19 points, number 22, Gabriel Sellers. Congratulations, Gabriel, and congratulations to the Noles. And the Metro Conference has their work cut out for them on Friday and Saturday. We hope that you will join us for those games, whether you are here in person at Joe Sterling Gymnasium or whether you are joining us on our YouTube channel, Metro vs. Florida Challenge, or you're joining us on our official broadcast partner for this 11th annual event, and that would be Varsity Sports Network. You can catch our games there as well, varsitysportsnetwork.org. Thanks for joining us this evening and all day long today as we celebrate Thanksgiving basketball style here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium in Apopka High School. 76-68, the Noles take the final in game number 8. Please drive carefully and arrive home safely if you are here in the arena. If you are tuning in online, we hope that you enjoy your day off tomorrow with your families, and then we will see you right back here starting at 10 o'clock on Friday morning. Until then, this is Mark Barchi, Media Director for the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, for Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, wishing you a good night from Apopka.
Was building on election.
Whether you're starting up a new company, face managing the affairs of a deceased loved one, or need assistance drafting a will or trust, finding the right attorney to help guide you on a journey can be daunting. Here at Pineda Law, we are here to help. Attorney Matt Pineda concentrates in estate planning, probate, business formation, and business law.